Imagine if every government could solve poverty by pressing print. A world where every citizen wakes up a millionaire, debts vanish overnight, and dreams are just ink away. It sounds like paradise, but history tells a darker truth. From emperors melting gold to modern banks flooding markets with cash, every attempt to print wealth has ended the same way: collapse, chaos, and lessons written in inflation. The real question isn't can we print unlimited money, it's why can't we survive it? Long before dollars and euros, money was trust, a handshake between buyer and seller. Ancient traders used gold, silver, or salt, not because it was magical, but because people believed in it. Each coin held weight, value, and honesty. When governments discovered they could issue paper instead of metal, it was revolutionary: lighter, faster, powerful. But behind that power hid a secret. The moment money lost its anchor in real value, it became only as strong as the trust people placed in it. The Roman Empire learned this the hard way. To fund endless wars and luxury, emperors began debasement, mixing cheaper metals into their silver coins. Soldiers were paid, roads were built, but soon markets noticed the coins felt lighter. Prices soared, bread vanished, and faith in money crumbled. Rome didn't fall overnight from swords. It eroded from the inside, coin by coin, as greed silently ate its economy. Centuries later, nations learned a rule: tie money to something real. Thus came the gold standard, a promise that every dollar represented a fixed amount of gold. It kept governments honest, limited printing, and stabilized trade. A farmer in Kansas and a banker in London shared one truth: gold couldn't be printed. But like all golden ages, this one wouldn't last forever. Wars, ambition, and human greed would soon test that faith. Every major war in history tested money's limits. When bullets fly, gold runs out. During World War I, nations abandoned the gold standard, printing to pay soldiers and steel. The guns were fed, but economies bled. Prices exploded, and post-war Europe learned victory bought with paper can cost a generation of stability. Germany, in particular, would pay the highest price for this illusion of endless wealth. 1923. A loaf of bread cost billions. Children played with stacks of marks as their parents bartered wheelbarrows of cash for food. The Weimar Republic had printed its way into madness. Money became wallpaper, savings turned to dust, and faith, the very soul of an economy, vanished. When trust in currency dies, so does civilization's rhythm. From that chaos, desperation rose, and with it, the shadows of tyranny. Across the Atlantic, America faced its own trial. The Great Depression of the 1930s wasn't caused by printing, but it taught restraint. President Roosevelt ordered citizens to surrender gold, stabilizing the dollar's foundation. It was controversial, but it restored faith in a system on the edge. America learned money isn't just currency, it's confidence, and confidence is earned, not printed. In 1971, President Nixon made a decision that changed everything. He ended the dollar's link to gold. It was called the Nixon Shock. Suddenly money became purely faith-based, paper without metal. The US government could now print freely. It worked, for a while. Prosperity boomed, credit expanded, and Wall Street grew richer than ever. But behind the optimism, a silent question lingered. What happens when belief itself is the currency? Inflation isn't just rising prices. It's the silent thief of savings. When a government prints more money, each existing dollar loses worth. It's like pouring water into wine. The glass may look full, but the taste is weaker. The rich protect their assets, but the poor feel the burn first. History's cruel truth is that every easy money policy eventually punishes those who trusted the system most. In the 2000s, Zimbabwe repeated the Weimar tragedy. To fight poverty and debt, its government printed trillions. Soon, a single banana cost $1 billion. People carried notes in sacks, not wallets. Printing presses ran day and night, until the paper itself was worth more than the money it printed. It wasn't just inflation. It was disbelief turned into despair. The lesson echoed once again. Money can't buy trust. Today, governments don't need paper to print money. They do it digitally. A keystroke creates billions. During the pandemic, trillions were injected into the economy overnight. It saved lives, yes, but it also lit the spark of inflation we still feel today. The numbers on screens may seem infinite, but human psychology isn't. Fear of losing faith remains the one limit no government can override. Real value is born from scarcity. Gold, time, effort, all are limited, and that's what gives them meaning. Unlimited money destroys that balance. It creates abundance without labour, wealth without worth. When everything's infinite, nothing holds value. History teaches us, prosperity built on printing isn't growth, it's illusion, waiting to collapse under its own weight. Central banks exist to prevent the mistakes of the past, to control supply, manage inflation, and protect trust. But even they walk a tightrope between stability and temptation. Print too little, economies freeze. Print too much, they burn. In that fragile balance lies the future of every nation. The printer isn't evil, it's human hands that decide how it's used. The US dollar became the world's anchor not because it was the strongest metal, but because it was the most trusted promise. For decades, it's been the backbone of global trade. But even the dollar isn't immune to history's echo. The more the world prints, the more fragile trust becomes. And when that trust wavers, the consequences ripple across continents. Inflation isn't just an economic term, it's human pain. It's a family realizing their savings buy less each month, a retiree watching decades of work shrink in value, a worker's paycheck fading faster than dreams. Money may be printed by machines, but its meaning lives and dies in human hearts. When that belief breaks, no government can fix it with more ink. From Rome's silver to Wall Street's screens, one truth endures. Every empire that abused money lost its strength. Wealth isn't created by printing, it's created by productivity, innovation, and trust. Printing can buy time, but never prosperity. The real currency of civilization is faith. Faith in each other, in effort, and in value earned, not printed. And yet, every generation tests the limits again. Because money, at its core, is hope. The dream that tomorrow can be better than today. That's why printing feels powerful. It feeds hope instantly. But real progress is slower, deeper, and harder. Printing may spark growth, but only discipline sustains it. Now humanity stands at a new crossroad. Digital currencies and cryptocurrencies promise freedom from old systems, but can they escape the same trap of endless creation? Whether it's paper or pixels, the rule remains. Value without limit breeds collapse. Technology may change the tools, but not the truth. The world's financial system is a living organism. It breathes trust, exhales debt, and pulses with human behavior. Printing is part of its rhythm, but like oxygen, too much or too little can kill. The art of money isn't in making it. It's in managing belief, patience, and scarcity with wisdom. So why can't governments print unlimited money? Because true wealth isn't paper. It's trust. It's the faith that tomorrow's dollar still means something today. Every empire, every nation that forgot this truth paid dearly. Money is mankind's most powerful illusion, one that builds worlds when respected and destroys them when abused. In the end, history doesn't whisper about printing presses. It speaks of choices, discipline, and the fragile miracle of belief.